Love this question. I think I said I probably would never go back. There are definitely days where I feel overwhelmed. I kind of tell them how it is. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a Q&A, which I haven't done one in so long, so I'm excited to sit down and answer anything that you guys might be curious about. I usually leave a question box over on Instagram, so let's hop in. So I technically officially started at the end of July, just setting up my classroom and starting orientations and meetings and things like that. But I have not yet taught my first class. So I'm very excited for that. I think the wins are that I'm just teaching 2 days a week, which leaves me time to work on my other things like my cookie business or my creator work, YouTube, or I might still sub when needed in the other school district that I was subbing for last year. Another win is that I'm with my kids. They're so close by, which makes me feel so happy and comfortable knowing I get to work where they are. Yeah, I mean, I can't really think of any challenges yet. It has honestly been such a blessing, and it kind of just like fell into my lap. Like the last day of school, I was picking up Jackson and the director walked up and was like, "Would you like a job?" And it was honestly something so meant to be that fell into my lap, and I feel so grateful for it. I go through Pinterest and we try new recipes every week. For a while there, we were doing like these black bean enchiladas. Those were so good. I think they're actually up on the lineup for next week. And then we love this like hamburger helper version. I think it's from Half Baked Harvest. It's very tasty. Love this question. Thanks for asking and checking in. I am happy. I feel just very fulfilled lately with the new job and just everything going on. There are definitely days where I feel a bit overwhelmed with everything, but at the end of the day, I'm a person who likes a lot going on. That's a really good question. I think I am most proud of taking chances and not being afraid to start something new. Like ever since I graduated from college with like a writing degree and nothing was coming from that, I was like, okay, well then I'm gonna go back to school and get a teaching degree. And I taught for a bit, and then I was like, I don't know if this is for me. I was teaching at a Title I school, and that comes with its own challenges sometimes that were way outside of what I thought a teacher would be, like way outside of the expectations I had, just because it is an emotionally taxing job to teach at a Title I or a Head Start, because some of the students don't come from the best of homes or conditions, so it just brings on a lot more than I had anticipated as a teacher who was starting out. As rewarding as it was just emotionally draining. I think I said I probably would never go back, but I think having my own kids in school and even subbing last year just really opened my heart back up to teaching, so I am very excited for it. When I realized that wasn't really working for me, I pursued personal training, and then I fell into doing creator work and cookies, and now I am back to teaching, which I never thought that I would be, but I'm so happy for it because I think it's what I need right now in my life. I think having a planner or a Google Calendar or something like that where you can write down everything that you have going on, including your tasks, meetings, appointments, your kids' activities, just having it all in one spot where you can really just have everything planned out so you don't forget everything is important. My kids definitely melt down sometimes. I feel like Jackson definitely melts down a little bit more than Quinn, but I think it's important to get down on their level and try to talk calmly with them and look them in the eyes and, you know, just give them that little bit of physical touch that might be comforting for them. That doesn't always work, and sometimes I melt down right along with them. Sometimes it just means separating yourself, giving them that space, not like a punishment, but just like, let's just take a little break from each other, breathe, and come back. And usually that works really well for Jax. How I've been regulating it right now is they can watch their tablets like after nap time, and the first little bit of screen time has to be a learning app, so like ABC Mouse or Homer, and then after they do that they can do some fun stuff. But I would say it's probably half an hour a day, sometimes more. Sometimes when they're on their tablets I get that time to like knock out work, and sometimes it goes over like the half hour. I'm like, oh my gosh, they've been on their tablets for too long. But some days they're not on their tablets at all, so I feel like it all kind of balances out. The pool is definitely our latest and greatest addition, but our house, I really love our entryway because it's a very, very tall room. The ceilings are so high, and it just has a bunch of windows, and I just love the natural light that comes through. I do the Olive and June ones. Those are probably my favorite, and they last me like over 2 weeks. I put the glue on my fingernail, and then I put a tiny bit of glue on the actual nail, and I think that really helps. Typically it's kindergarten. Preschool, it's really up to you. You can have them in preschool 5 days a week, depending on where they go, but that would be very expensive. I don't. I swear by an evening routine. I have said this many times, but having a routine that your kids know what's coming next really helps them get to bed on their own. And then as far as Jackson's early mornings, I think it just took a little bit of tweaking, like shorter naps or no naps. He sleeps in a bit later, and then like just kind of slowly pushing the bedtime a little bit, because they used to be in bed at like 6, I feel like, and now it's like 7:30. I'm glad you like those types of videos. I think budgeting and couponing and saving has become such a big part of our lives in the more recent years, but I just feel like it's always important to save. Saving for the kids, saving for emergency things, saving for upcoming travel. Like, we'll always be saving, and we'll always be trying to find coupons and deals, and that is our way of life now. And honestly, a lot of that is because of Matt. Matt is a very frugal being, and I admire him for it, and he's taught me a lot, but I also think I've taught him a lot on how to loosen up a little bit. It's a good balance. I don't know, that's a hard one. First off, we can't afford it. I would rather our money go towards something else. And second off, I'm kind of one of those people who is like, I am just gonna do it myself. Sometimes I just have a hard time like having someone else do something that I could do, I guess, if that makes sense. So I don't know. Some weeks I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish we had someone that cleaned our house. But most of the time I do find it satisfaction in cleaning the house myself. I always want my channel to feel like a calm, safe, cozy space for you to come and hang out. That is like my goal, because those are the videos that I like to watch, and I like to watch those videos when I am feeling a little anxious. I don't want to say that I have anxiety, because I've never been diagnosed with that by a professional, but I will say that I do get anxious sometimes, and I love to watch a cozy, calming video. So that's why I like to put those videos out into the world. But yes, I definitely get anxious sometimes. Sometimes it comes out of nowhere, and it's just like that kind of that feeling of dread. I'm very old school. I love having a book in my hands. I love turning the pages. I totally see how a Kindle or like an iPad would be so much easier and save some space, but I do just love physical books. How do you deal? So for me, I kind of tell him how it is, and I probably sound like a nag sometimes, but he definitely helps when I ask, and I appreciate it so much. Sometimes we'll just have to like sit down and have a little chit chat, but I try to be understanding because Matt is out of the house working very long hours in the summer heat, and he is very exhausted when he comes home. I don't really expect him to be cleaning the house when he gets home from work at sometimes 7 p.m. I realize I am very lucky to work from home, although sometimes it does feel very overwhelming, and I definitely will talk to Matt sometimes, be like, hey, I just need you to like pick up after yourself a little bit more, or pick up after the kids a little bit more, or whatever. And he's awesome. He really is. He does so much. Truly does. Like outside of work, he is awesome. He is up with Jackson in the mornings, getting him breakfast, hanging out with him, teaching him the letters, and then when Quinn wakes up, she wakes up a little bit later than Jackson, he'll hang with her too. Well, I just kind of have a slow morning, because I need a slow morning that's my own before jumping into all the things, and he helps with that. Like he does all of this before he heads off to work, but it's also important for him to get that time with the kids. And on the weekends, he's always doing something. He's always rearranging the garage or working in the yard. He is always doing something, and I very much appreciate him. That is going to conclude today's Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I hope I got to some of your questions. I just wanted to say I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you even being curious to ask questions, and I appreciate you being here to watch my videos. It means a lot to me, and I just wanted to say that. So I'll see you guys in the next one.